Welcome back, everyone. So our previous video has been cut short, and that's because I was using the free version of Screencast-O-Matic. But I'll just continue where we stopped anyway. And for those who have just tuned into this, it's not going to make sense. This is actually a lesson about transformation using matrices, and we have learned quite a lot in the previous video. So this is just a continuing what we have learned just now, and that given this question, so it's actually to find the image of a particular point under a dilation followed by a translation, and then we have to write sort of like the x and the y value in terms of x prime and y prime, so in terms of its image. Yeah, so if I remember clearly just now, we sort of stopped somewhere over here where I said sort of like the matrix A, it's K001 because it's a dilation. Yeah, and the inverse of matrix A will give us 1 over K, 0, 0, and 1. Yeah. And then we know that because x equals to A negative 1 bracket x prime takes C, if we sub the matrices into this equation, it will sort of give us this equation over here. So x equals to, so we know that the inverse of matrix A is 1 over K, 0, 0, 1. And we know that sort of like the image of x is x prime y prime. Take this is the translation matrix, so this is m and n, so equals to, we always have to work with the bracket first. Yep, so by working with the bracket, we know that this is going to give us x prime take m, y prime take n, and after that we have to times these two matrices together, and this is the result of it. Yep, we get 1 over K bracket x prime take m and y prime take n for the second row. Yeah, so x is actually my xy, so that will mean that my x value is equal to 1 over K bracket x prime take m, and my y will equal to y prime take n. So this is x and y in terms of x prime and y prime respectively. So if we go to the next question, find the equation of the image of the graph under a transformation defined by this. Yeah, so this means that this is the original equation of the graph, and if the graph goes through a transformation of 1002, yeah, what is the equation of the new graph? Yeah, so this is what we are gonna do. Yeah, so just a quick question to you. Yeah, if you look at this matrix, which is 1002, what sort of transformation is this? Yeah, so yeah, you can see that in this case the 2 is sort of times to the y side, so it is actually a dilation of factor 2 in the x-axis. Yeah, so if we know that t is 1002, our inverse matrix of t will be 100 half. Yep, I'm doing it in a very short way because I think you know by now how to inverse a matrix. Yep, and then we know previously that in order to sort of transform a point, we have to put the transformation matrix first, the object of the point equals to the image. Yeah, so this is how it works. So, and we also learned previously that in order to sort of rewrite sort of represent x and y in terms of the image, we have to sort of make x and y the subject. So this is what we're doing also right here. So if I copy this again and I add the inverse matrix of t in front of both of this, yeah, so what happens now is that this and this will cancel. Yep. So these two will cancel, and this will make x and y sort of like the subject. Yep. So these two, if we times these two matrices together, we will get x prime and half y prime. Yep. And because of this, we know that x will be equal to x prime, y will be equal to y prime over 2. So the image of the equation of this is the original equation. Yeah. So the image of this equation is going to be, we have to sub the y prime over 2 into my y, and my x prime into my x over here. So this is going to be the image of the equation of the image of my graph. Yeah. So if we go on to the next question over here, a transformation is described by t bracket x plus b equals to x prime, where t is sort of like a given transformation and b is actually a translation. Yep. Find the image of y equals to 2x plus 5 under this transformation. Yep. So we sort of need to write out the equation of the image here. So the first thing that we're going to do is, again, we have to make the x as the subject. So we are sort of like slowly getting rid of the other ones that we don't want it to be on the same side as x. Does that make sense? So in order to get rid of my t here, I add a t inverse at both sides, and that's how I got rid of the t. So after that, I will have x plus b equals to the inverse of t and x prime. In order to make x the subject, I sort of need to get rid of the plus b, which is pretty easy. I just have to move my positive b across the equal sign, and this is a negative b here. So after I have done all sort of like rearranging all these formulas, I can actually substitute my matrices into the equation. Yep. So I know that the inverse of t is going to be this one. So this is done beforehand. So this is, and I assume that you know how to do inverse matrices, or else please go back to my video for matrices. Yep. So, and x prime will give us sort of like the image of x prime, y prime. Take B has a matrix of 1 and 2. Yeah. So in order to solve this, we have to times this together first, and then we have to take 1 and 2. So if we do a product of this, we are gonna get y prime over 2 for my first row, and then I have to take 1 over here. Yep. And then this is going to be the result of my second row, and then I have to take 2 over here. So by doing this, we know that x equals to y prime over 2 take 1, and y equals to negative x prime over 3 take 2. So the image of the equation, this is the original equation. So the image will be, I will have to substitute sort of like all this into my y, and the values that I got for my x into my x value. So this is actually y equals to 2x plus 5. So this is like a y equals to 2x plus 5, and then I rearrange them so that it looks neater. So this is the equation of the image of my graph under this transformation. So yep, this is all we need to do for today, and happy studying at home, and stay safe everyone. Until next time, bye bye.